Hey everybody, how's it going? Tooth here. I hope you guys are having a great evening. I'm working on having a great evening. Cheers. Oh, a little shot of whiskey makes things a little warmer. Anyway, so this is a follow-up and this is an update on the M18, M17 conversion kit that we got our hands on from SIG. First off, right off the bat, one of the things I do, especially with pistols, is basically any gun, is once I get them, I run through what I call a dirty test, is see how many rounds they fire before they start having issues. Right off the bat, the M17, when it was first purchased in 2020, 2021, when I got back from my last deployment where I got shittily stuck in Kuwait, I bought one and we hit, I thought was 1,000 rounds, and then we started having an issue where the slide would not seat all the way forward and you'd had to bump it and all that other stuff. Like, okay, we hit it. We've done this test with SIG, Glock, Walter, Canic, HK, FN, several different types of semi-automatic handguns, and they all generally hit about the same spot. At least your main brand ones do. They generally hit around 1,000 to 1,500 rounds, and it's like, okay, it's time for a cleaning. And so that's where we were at. That was the first issue we ran into. And for the most part, I bet most of you guys, you shoot 200 to 400 rounds and you're cleaning your gun, because honestly, after we do that test, that's what I do. So we mentioned in the video the M18 had a light primer strike. It had one. After I made the video, I went ahead and I put the M17 upper assembly back on, started having more light primer strikes. And then I slowed down, I looked at it, and I was like, okay, the slide's going forward, but it's not going all the way to put everything in correct battery, but it's going just far enough forward for the trigger to release the firing pin to strike the primer on the ammo, but we're getting light primer strikes. So we played with it a little bit more, and we found out I played with a little bit more, and I found out exactly that's what the issue was. The M17 was, and I used the same lower assembly off of my M17 to put the M18 on. That was the issue. It was dirty. That's what was going on, because after the video, putting the M17 up on, we had more light primer strikes, quite a few more. I think we got up to 9, and that's when I figured out that's what was going on. So I wound up taking the M18, the M17 upper, just left them off, wiped them down, squirted a little bit of CLP on there, which is not what I recommend for lubricating your semi-automatic handguns by any means, or any handgun, period. But it's what I had out there, and no more issues. Everything ran fine. Everything went great. I probably went through several more drills, and no, I didn't put them on video. Sorry, my bad. I probably should have. Maybe one of these days I'll learn how to edit on this thing. So long part and short, not realizing what my ammo count was, the gun got really dirty, where I'm thinking I'm probably at 500-600 rounds. I was probably actually upwards with the lube I used personally. I was somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 rounds on the M17, and then the M18, I did notice, and I figured if I just took that white lithium grease that SIG sends out with their assembly systems, I thought that'd be enough. I thought it was a lot more sparse or thinner layer than what came on the M17 originally when I bought it back in 2020, 2021. But after I lubed it up, everything ran fine. I had no more issues. So there you go. The light primer strikes was not a SIG issue, was not a limp wrist issue because of the drill I was running. It was just improper weapons maintenance and improper lube. So sorry guys, my bad. I screwed up. And like I always say on here, if you can't say when you're screwing up, you don't need to be out here putting information on. So one thing I'm going to recommend to you all, for y'all guys with your handguns, and you're like me, you carry one every day, and you may or may not, hopefully you never have to, but you may have to your life depend on it. You hit that somewhere between that 500 and 1,200 round count, let's start cleaning our weapons. That's what I'm going to start doing. And like I said, I've ran this test several times with several different manufacturers, and I've had the same issue, so all's good. It's my bad. So far, no issues out of the gun. So I did talk with the gun owner a little bit today, told him what I was running into, told him what I found, and he did have another M18 upper kit in, and he is going to go ahead and he has the actual SIG lube that comes in the kits on his shelf, and he's gonna douche it out real good and make sure it's all good and lube for the next person that comes along. So y'all have a good one. I'm working on having a good one. I hope you guys are drinking whiskey and not Bud Light. Later.